All right, we're out here with Luna Girl, and she's having a great day back at camp. Today I'm going to introduce her to a prong collar, and then I'm just going to kind of see how you guys feel on it. I'm going to send it home and let you try it out. But essentially, while it looks like a medieval torture device, it's actually a really great mitigation tool. So when I see a dog that's at risk of either injuring themselves, which is a little bit the case for her where she's lunging so hard and she's such a big, stout, strong girl. And then the risk of injury to the public or other people where she is quite a bit of a jumper. So the prong is just going to help make the pressure of the leash a little bit more acute. And right now it seems like in most scenarios, at least here at the studio with all the other dogs and people and like high level of exciting distractions, we're kind of having to use so much physical like strength. So like upper body, arm, shoulder, rotator cuff strength to like kind of keep her in check. So right now for her, you're being a very good girl. Leash pressure is girl. We got to work on that again too. Leash pressure's been desensitized for her. So the prong collar is just going to make that a little bit more acute and cut through the noise. At no point will this actually like cut into her skin. They're blunt tips that just, as like I said, spread the make the pressure more acute instead of spreading it out like a flat buckle collar. There is a risk that she could potentially kind of injure herself if she were to be hitting this at a very hard degree. At some point, she might lunge and kind of hit it, and she may experience some level of discomfort. Good. So we're going to do some exercises to help mitigate and avoid that scenario and kind of redo her yielding to leash exercises. I'm going to start off here with getting her to take some of this food gently. She definitely doesn't seem to like understand that's what we're looking for. So she needs to potentially be hand fed if this is becoming a big issue. We need to be able to deliver treats safely, and she's definitely biting hard. So in order to teach her things, she has to find those things reinforcing, and the easiest way to reinforce a dog in the moment when we're training is with food. Otherwise, we're left with using toys, pets, but the timing isn't super great with that. Delivering food is the easiest way to reinforce your dog in the moment. Yeah, her eyes are like wicked dilated. So she definitely needs some impulse control and work with being around food. So I'm just going to feed her. I've got this food in the palm of my hand. I think we looked at this together in orientation. Good. I'm going to, make sure that she's not helping herself to my treat pouch. So I may even kind of use the leash here if I need to help keep her away from that. Good. So anytime she's snapping, chomping, I'm not going to let her get that food. I'm going to use a little bit of this leash pressure to back her off of me. Any kind of pushy forward energy, I need to kind of help her make a boundary with that. Good. So I'm going to take on a nice calm energy. I can even like kind of get some hands on her to help ease her into a little bit of calmness. Good. So I definitely recommend hand feeding her meals this way, taking your time with it. If you get about 10 minutes of work into this and you want to just give her the rest of her food in her bowl, that's fine. But she definitely needs to spend time learning how to have some impulse control around being hand fed and food. So I'm going to get hands on with her, like I said. Good. And I can start to kind of move around as well. The more we're moving around and the more movement that gets into this, the more excited she's going to get. Good. Ooh. So This, like I said, important to work on because this is going to potentially be not so great around young kids, old people, people with fragile skin. Good. Perfect. All right. So that's going to be homework for part 1 here. Back to introducing the prong. So we're going to do the yield to leash exercise. So this is what we did in, we might have done it in week 1, and I think we did it in orientation. Real quick, I just want to check to see what her response to her clicker looks like. So if I can get her distracted, I think she's going to kind of be glued to me since I have her food. Walk towards your friends over here. Perfect. And for right now, I am going to, if I'm using my clicker, I may end up kind of tossing the food on the floor. Her response to the clicker should be run to me to get food, which looks like it's looking good there. But rather than have her run to me and nail my hand, I'm going to probably just drop the treat for right now. Perfect. So I'm going to let her get a little distracted potentially. Maybe. Perfect. Nope, I dropped it. It's under your belly. Oh, maybe you caught it. Perfect. Yeah, she's just full on biting hands. That's not good. We got to work on that. All right, so I'm going to grab her leash. Good. The other thing I would say, and you know, it's her first day back. Obviously, she gets here and she's like, my friends are here. Ah! And like, this is the ultimate peak of excitement. So she's not potentially, oh, you're so good. She's not potentially doing the, I'm just trying to grab your leash. Goodness. There we go. But she's very pushy, I would say. So, you know, I think it all kind of, all the behaviors that we're looking to fix or change with her particularly stem from her lack of impulse control. So I would say having lots of management in place, it's kind of like a twofold thing. I think she's a dog that needs clearly lots of exercise and mental stimulation, but she needs to be given access to those things in a very controlled way. Right now, I think she sees the world as her opportunity, like golden opportunity, and she gets an idea in her head and she takes it. So she needs her entire life right now, I would say, to be structured, way more structured. She has way too much access, if I had to guess, to gaining access to things that are like, oh, like I'm going to chase this thing and I'm going to do this thing. So we want to set up things where we still give her all the opportunity in the world to play and exercise that drive, but doing so in a way that causes her to have to practice impulse control. So I'm actually going to put a pin in the prong movement here. And we're going to play a game. Let's see what you think of this. This is called a flirt pole. Yeah. So again, she's like, oh, that's interesting. And my initial reaction is going to be to immediately try to grab that out of your hand, jump and bite. She's doing pretty good right now, but you can kind of see those ideas in her mind. And I think we've established enough of deference, I would say, where she's not going to try that full on with me. But if you're struggling to get her to kind of defer to you in that way, like with leadership, so essentially our relationship consists of me very consistently going, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that. We're friends, but I'm not going to let you do that. So she's less likely to jump on me and try things that she's like, oh, I've done that before and that's not the way, right? So we're going to Boba Fett. This is the way. So anyway, this is a flirt pole, little tug on a bungee string. Super great for dogs like this generally. Ready? Okay. Oh, what do you think of that? Oh, get it. Oh, what do you think? She's like, where's the food? Let's see. Oh, what is that? What's this? Yeah, there she is. Yeah, and a dog that loves tug is a dog that I love to play with. Yes, we love tug. Good girl, get that thing. You gotta get the tug. Is that prong itchy? Good girl. And this is actually another kind of good thing to do when you're introducing a prong, is making sure that we're doing something fun. And not that it's bumming dogs out innately, but she can associate the prong with, oh, we're going on a walk, we're doing something fun, and to get used to wearing it. You'll see her stop and scratch potentially here and there. Good girl. Yes, good job. All right. Once I get her, so right now I just want to get her really into this thing. She's kind of like tepid. Her temperature is lukewarm, but I want her to be like hot for this. So we're gonna play until I see her getting kind of hot for it. I want to see those eyeballs dilating. Oh yes, good girl. Oh, there she goes. Yes. So you'll notice that I'm having her drag her leash, and that is important. And if you don't already have her dragging leashes, anytime there's an opportunity for her to practice a bad behavior, like jumping or grabbing things she shouldn't grab, then we want to have that leash so that we can manage that behavior a little bit better and consistently. Good girl. Woohoo! Yay! All right, perfect. Now that we've got her a little bit more hot for this, we're going to play Windows of Opportunity. So right now her window of opportunity is wide open. She is allowed to engage to her heart's content. And in a second, I'm going to grab up her leash. I'm going to keep playing with her for just a second so she doesn't associate me grabbing her leash with the end of fun. And I'm going to say, once I get this leash out from underneath her foot, I'm going to say, Luna, enough. And she's going to be like, yeah, whatever. Right? So I'm going to kind of grab up this toy and I'm going to apply a slight upwards pressure. Good. I'm going to release the pressure as soon as she lets go of the toy, and I'm going to reapply the pressure if she grabs it. I'm also going to apply pressure if she's biting the leash. Sometimes people don't mind if their dog bites the leash, but I'm going to go ahead and correct her for that. Again, you might see her kind of stopping to itch. The prong collar, and she could probably use another link in that collar. It's ever so slightly snug, but that's okay for right now. Good. So I'm going to open the window again. So we're going to practice doing a couple where we close the window, open the window, and then we're going to start to work on impulse control. So I'm going to say, ready? Okay, perfect. So right now I'm picking, yeah, it's going to take her kind of a minute to re-engage, which is fine. Good girl, okay. Good girl, where is that? Oh, good girl. So ready is going to be my open window word, and I'm using her general release word, okay, to tell her that she can grab it. Eventually, I might open the window and say, Luna, ready? Which means the opportunity exists. You can get excited about it. But we might have some controls in place where we wait for her to go after something until we release her. This will help your dog learn what state of mind they should be in. So right now I know this sounds a little bit funky, but when you have very clear windows of opportunity and I say the closed word, which we picked ENOUGH. Is that how you spell it? I'm a dog trainer, not a literary. Anyway, she's going to learn to immediately become neutral. And she's going to learn the quicker I become neutral, the quicker that window opens again potentially. So we help teach the dog neutrality with that. All right, so I'm going to grab up my leash. I'm going to keep playing for a hot second. Good girl. Then I'm going to say, Luna, enough. I'm going to give her a second to respond before I apply a slight upwards pressure. I'm going to release the pressure as soon as she gets it. Releases it. Good. And I'm going to reapply it if she's going for it. Good. 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 I'm going to add a little bit of impulse control work here. Good. Good. Ready? Okay. Other dogs are like jumping up when I say this. Good. So I'm going to help her re-engage. Good girl. It's going to take probably, and dogs generally don't get this in the first session. We're going to have to let this marinate and play this game again later before they start to learn. Because sometimes when we close the window and we see that ENOUGH word, they're not as inclined to like re-engage. You say you open the window again and then they're like, oh, that was kind of a bummer. Like you applied pressure. It's not my favorite thing. And it kind of kills the vibe. So it takes a little bit. Yes, good girl. But eventually she starts to learn that I control when it's when it's appropriate to have that kind of drive. So she's just a very drivey girl, which is super. We love drivey dogs. We just want to have controls on it. She needs an off switch, essentially, and we're going to help install that. Good girl. This might be a very long video, sorry. Good girl. All right. Yes. Having fun. Oh, you got to be quick. You're like the Allstate commercial. You got to be quicker than that. Oh, you're a good girl. Yes. And I want to find a tug that we can play without, so we can get a little bit more physical. So she's a physical girl. That's kind of the other thing we needed to talk about. So how you play with your dog is very important. Quality over quantity is the best recipe for dogs like this. When we see a dog like Luna, we're inclined to think, and I did say this earlier, right? I was like, she needs a lot of exercise, but that doesn't mean she needs to run 9 miles a day and that you have to like turn her into this like superstar athlete. In fact, you can actually accidentally build endurance in your dog, and then they end up requiring more and more. When we play a game that's 10 minutes long, but it spins all of her dials in the right way, that's much more fulfilling than playing a game. Let's say, like, I haven't seen her play fetch, and I assume she probably loves it, but let's just say she's not a fetch dog, and I have it in my head that that's the game we're going to play, and I throw the ball and she runs after it, but she doesn't come back, and I'm like, oh, well, I tried to play with her. But then she's more inclined to play with her on her own and, you know, tear a toy up. She likes to destroy something, or she wants to go dig a hole, or she wants to go run and chase squirrels. So she's finding her own fun outside of playing with me, and that's not ideal at all. So I want to play a game that ticks her particular boxes. So if she's a rough and tumbly kind of girl, which I dare say she is, and she wants to fight, like, oh, we're going to wrestle, I'm going to put you in a little puppy headlock, oh, I want to chase things, I want to use my mouth, I want to bite hard, then we're going to play a game, we're going to find a game that we can play together that I control to get that out of you. Get your yayas out, girlfriend. Release the beast and do it in a way that's controlled so that later on when we tell you to chill out and don't do that stuff around this particular person or this particular environment, and we don't want you playing parkour in the living room, she's going to find that fair. She's going to be like, I have an outlet for this energy, so that's fine. So discovering how your dog likes to play, super important. And it does not need to be a long time. She's going to be pooped after this because this game requires her to use her brain and her body. All right. So I'm going to grab up my leash here and I'm going to say, Luna, enough. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to untangle her real quick. She's kind of funky about, good. I'm going to start to move this around a little bit. Good. Good girl. Good. Ready? Okay. Nice. She's starting to pick up on it. She's very smart. Not that I'm surprised. Dogs don't usually pick up on it quite that fast. So that's great. So in between these open and closed windows, hopefully this is recording. Oh my God, can you imagine if I've been talking this whole time? My cameraman is, oh, thank God. He's at the chiropractor. Okay. So anyway, in between the open and closed windows, we can start to make this more challenging. Maybe I'm kicking a ball, or I'm dropping food on the floor, or anything that kind of tests, and actually working around food is ultimately what I would want to start to work on as well. So yeah, and just making it more challenging so she starts to develop that part of her brain that allows her to have coping skills for things that she wants to engage in. So hopefully this all makes sense. What was that? Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to continue to work on this with her. I'll have to make another video for you on the prong. If I don't see you this afternoon, I'll have Alex talk to you about it and see what your thoughts are. And we can order her one. Yeah, are you tired? Oh, good girl. You're such a sweet pie. You're such a sweet pie. You want more food, huh? All right, so I'm going to give this girl some lunch and we'll take a little break. But that looks great. Good job, Luna. And then I'm going to close your window. Enough. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Good. Good. Uh-uh. Good. Good job. Good girl. Nice job.